All right, here's a question from Danrick. How would I respond to the challenge, quote, if God allows or arguably is sovereign over miscarriage, which ends a life and brings sadness to a woman, how can he blame a woman who personally decides to abort her own child? I need to go deeper than Genesis 3.
Well, again, sometimes I'm a little mystified by the challenge. Okay, God allows people to die. Let's just speak very generally here. In God's sovereignty, He's over all of that thing. People die all the time. Since people die all the time, if some people die at my hand because I'm angry at them and I shoot them, then how could God find fault with me? So this is just a counterexample.
Proves too much.
Yeah, it proves too much, exactly. This is a taking the roof off, and that's the tactic, and we're just taking this point of view seriously and giving it a test drive and seeing where it takes us. And if it drives us off a moral cliff, we probably started in the wrong place, okay? We're on the wrong route. And this is the case here. This challenge is not even remotely appealing to me or compelling, because if God will allow one kind of thing to happen, then since he allows that thing to happen in the world, then it's okay for me to cause the thing to happen. Well, God allows all kinds of evil things to happen for his own reasons, for his own purposes. That doesn't mean it's okay for us to do those evil things. That's why we call them evil things. The logic completely escapes me on this one.
Well, like you said, Greg, it applies to every death. Now, God actually has caused everybody's death because the death is part of the curse. Mm-hmm. It's part of our punishment. Every single person dies because that is God's punishment.
That there is death, right?
Yeah, there is death. So, like you said, that would prove that you can murder anybody you want. But of course it doesn't. And part of that is there's no parallel here between God as creator and judge and us.
Yes.
We have our role and responsibility and authority, and God has his. Mm-hmm. And there's no parallel between God bringing about people's death and a mother killing the child that she's charged with protecting.
Right. Exactly.
There's just no parallel. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's. We're talking about two different things here.
It also, I guess, shows me how strong a person's commitment is to doing the wrong thing when their attempt at justification is so shallow. This persuades a person. I have actually said this sometimes to people when I'm talking to them. I say, that's persuasive to you? Are you kidding? Really? I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but really, that's persuasive? Well, you're just not thinking hard enough about this issue. That's all, you know.
I think a lot of times what happens is people who aren't Christian are trying to find loopholes in Christianity to help persuade people over to a materialistic worldview, to persuade them to positions that follow from a materialistic worldview. And so you do get sometimes these kind of gotcha type things that you have to think through to realize, wait a minute, there's nothing behind this.
Mm-hmm. Well, the morality of any murder is influenced by the materialistic worldview. It's not a murder. It's just a killing. It's not something wrong. It's just what happens in a world where there's no purpose or there's just molecules clashing in the universe, you see.